I'll pick this one. Alright, there we go. Let me just quickly go through some options and set up my character some more. And there we go. Done. I then picked the grass-type Pokemon Cat as my starter because I just love cats. I was then challenged to a battle by Nemona, which I of course won very easily. I then caught myself my first Pokemon, a Lechonk. And then while looking for a Pokemon, I fell off a cliff and nearly died. And at the bottom I found an injured Pokemon, which I gave a sandwich to help perk up. Which then safely led me through the caves, and then went outside and fell asleep. And then at the lighthouse, I met a student named Arvin, who challenged me into a battle, which I of course won. He then gave me his Pokemon, and then very quickly ran away. And then at the gates of the city, Nemona challenged me to a battle, which I of course won. I then entered the bottom of the city. Then at the top of the stairs in the middle of the city, I found Team Stargrunt harassing a girl into trying to join their team. So I then beat them up. I then got a orb that allows me to terrestrialize. But you don't know that, so let me give you an explanation. Basically, you have a normal Pokemon, which depending on its Terra type, it will terrestrialize. And in this case, it's grass type. So let's say we have two normal types, a grass type and a dark type. So since we grass terrestrialized our Pokemon, the grass type gets a 2 times damage increase. I then went to class and introduced myself. And then I entered the cafeteria and somehow my phone got hacked. It turns out the person who hacked my phone actually wanted me to help them defeat Team Star. I was then asked by Professor Sada to take care of Koraidon for some reason. And after a long time of studying, I was finally able to start exploring the great area of Palladia. I then decided to pick Arvin's quest for the Titans instead of going for Team Star or doing the gym battles first. I then explored and caught some Pokemon around the area. I also did a Q-Fan Terror Raid. And then after that, I decided to look around for the Titan. And then after looking around for a bit, my grass cat even leveled up. And then eventually I found the Titan. But then I ended up one-shotting it. It then ran away, and then it started eating some drugs, which actually ended up powering it up quite a lot. Oh no. So of course I taught it a lesson. And then afterward, we made some drug sandwiches, which we then fed to our Pokemon, which then powered up my Pokemon and actually gave it the ability to dash. I then after that explored the area a little bit more and caught some more Pokemon as well. I then accidentally got too close to a Team Star base and got forced into raiding it with this person named Clive, who was obviously the director. So I beat up the guard and started up the raid. They thought they could beat me by making my Pokemon fight, but only the one with the highest level of strength will win. But oh how wrong they were. They then sent their boss at me because they couldn't defeat me. The only problem was that their boss couldn't defeat me either. And then afterward I went back to exploring and catching Pokemon. I then got another call from Arvin. It turned out that there was another Titan nearby. I was eventually able to track down the giant worm. And it actually turns out it's pretty aggressive. And since it disrespected me, I defeated it very quickly. And after I beat it, it tried to flee. So I chased after it, and by the time me and Arvin got to it, it already had eaten the drugs in its cave. So once again, of course, together, we were finally able to defeat the giant earthworm once and for all. But it actually turned out there was still one drug plant left in the cave. So once again, we made drug sandwiches for our Pokemon. This time, instead of the dash ability, it empowered Koraidon to jump higher instead. And then a little bit later, I found a mountain pass, the place to train. You know what that means. Training montage! And then after training, I found some ancient ruins in the mountains. And then after a little bit of exploring, I once again found the area where Titan Pokemon number 3 was. And after like half a minute, I found it just in the middle of the open, just right there. So I tried to beat it up, but it actually ended up beating not 1, not 2, but 3 of my Pokemon. But thanks to the Salt Cure and my Corvisquire, I was actually able to defeat it. Though we did still have to defeat his drugged up form. This time, since we had the help of Arven, we were able to defeat it a little bit quicker. Though this time, my drug sandwich that I gave to my Pokemon actually gave it the ability to fly. Anyway, after a little bit of traveling, I was able to make it to the 4th Titan area. Anyway, once I made it past the boulders on the mountain, I was easily able to make it to the top, where I was able to beat the first stage of the 4th Titan. To be honest, the second stage was also pretty easy as well. Anyway, this time, Koraidon got the ability to be able to swim in water. Though sadly, I was not able to beat the 5th Titan, because it was around level 50. So I, of course, went back to training, but I'm not gonna bore you with another montage. And after the training, I was able to defeat all 3 forms. The 3rd form was just a tiny minnow guy. And this time, for the power-up for Koraidon, I gained the ability to climb up vertical surfaces with him, so I could just climb mountains now. I also saved Arven's dog from dying. I also got a call from Professor Sada to go to her lab back at that White House where I first met Arven. Anyway, when I got to the lab, Professor Sada once again was on the TV screen. But this time, she asked me and Arven to go to Area 0, which is supposedly the most dangerous area on the island. And then Arven wanted to battle outside to see if we were strong enough to go to Area 0. Though sadly, I was definitely not strong enough. So I did a little bit of training, and I then decided to beat the next Team Star base. So I found it, and then I beat the guard, breached their defenses, and then finally took down the boss. I did the same with the 3rd Team Star base. Though sadly, I was not able to take down the guard of Team Star base 4. So once again, I did a little bit more training. After that, I signed up for my first gym, and then for the gym challenge, I had to go around the town and look for 10 Sunflower. And then when I got them all, I returned them back to their field. And then I beat the gym leader. Though the second gym leader was actually a streamer. And her challenge was to find Director Crovell on 3 different security cameras. And then after every time I found Director Crovell, I had to beat another gym challenger. And I, of course, passed the test very quickly. Though when I battled her, I easily defeated her as well. Also, Lono the gym leader is correct. You should smash the like button and subscribe if you are enjoying the video so far. Gym 3's challenge was just rolling an olive into a basket, which was pretty dang easy. Oh yeah, and I also beat Gym Leader 3 as well. I was also able to beat Gym Leader 4 as well. After that, once again, was more training. And then after that, in many tries, I was actually able to beat Eri, the Team Star boss, number 4. Fortunately, I was also able to beat Team Star boss number 5 as well. Anyway, it turned out the final boss of Team Star was actually a Cassiopeia, and she would be waiting for me in the schoolyard. But when I got there, during daytime, Director Clovell battled me, saying he was the leader of Team Star, but I knew better than that. And then when I went to the schoolyard at nighttime, I met the real leader of Team Star, which actually turned out to be Penny, which wasn't quite a surprise to me, to be honest. Oh, also, all her Pokemon that she had were just Eevees and the evolution of Eevees, so it was pretty easy to beat her. Gym 5's challenge was to go around and beat other trainers that were trying to beat the gym challenge and get their clue, figure out the clue, get a certain keyword that you can input into the restaurant so you can order a certain meal. And then once you order that certain meal, you will be able to fight the gym boss. Which was pretty interesting, to be honest. Though just because he had an interesting gym challenge, didn't mean he was strong enough to beat me, though. The 6th gym challenge was me having to win an auction with the money that the gym leader gave me. And of course, like all the other gym bosses, I beat them as well. Gym 7 And Gym 8 I also was able to beat pretty easily as well. And then after that, I was even able to beat Arvin in a battle as well. Afterwards, I took the Elite 4 survey since I was able to get all 8 gym badges, which I of course completed the survey. I then proceeded to beat all 4 members of the Elite 4. And then I also was able to beat Gita as well, and finally become a champion. And then I beat Nimona in one final battle. After the battle, Arvin also called me and told me that we were able to get 2 people that wanted to join us to enter Area 0. So of course, I headed right over so I could enter Area 0 and see what's inside the crater of Palladium for myself. And of course, it was all the friends I got when exploring and completing all the quest lines. And then thanks to the help of Koradon, we were able to fly into the crater and not die in the process. Anyway, when we got there, we were then told that we had to go to 4 research centers and unlock some locks on the lab. At the first base, we encountered a Glamora, but were still able to defeat it and unlock the first lock on the main lab. Second lab, there was a Screamtail. We were still able to defeat it and unlock that lock as well. The third lab, there was a Great Tusk guarding it, which I was easily able to defeat as well. On the bright side, there was nothing guarding the fourth lab, though. It also turned out there was another Koraidon, in the crater that won a territorial battle over our Koraidon after I just let it out, so yeah, that's not great. Also, when we opened up the main lab, it kind of let out a bunch of ancient Pokemon from the past that were attacking us. Though we were eventually able to defeat all the Pokemon that surrounded us, though some still ran off, so Arvin went off to join the other 2. Then when I entered the lab, it turned out that the other professor had died, and that there was a robot version because she passed away in the 4th research center. Which is kind of sad if you think about it, so just don't think about it much. Anyway, I went to the time machine room and tried to shut it down, but the robot stopped me because of her protocol, so I had to beat her in a Pokemon battle. Anyway, after I defeated the robot, the whole place went into lockdown mode and disabled all Pokeballs except for ones that were registered that were made by the original Professor Sada. On the bright side, we had one Pokemon that was caught by Professor Sada, and that was our Koraidon, so I sent him out, of course. Though in the end, thanks to Koraidon and his special powers, I was able to defeat the other Koraidon and Professor Sada's AI once and for all. The AI then told Arvin that his mother loved him, and then the Professor Sada AI just left through and went back in time because the AI just wanted to explore back in time, and because the time machine wouldn't be shut down unless she went back in time. And then the game just ends. Like, I can't make this up. That's the beginning of the pre-game, like the regular game. There's a post-game that's just kind of a tournament, but that's just the end of that main storyline. Like, that's it.